What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Littleroot Laddering. This week we have a team provided to us by Jay Bucci, who, if you have not listened to this week's episode of the podcast, it has a very, very good in-depth explanation of everything we're going on here. So, pretty much, this is a super hyper offensive team with PZ and Clefairy, backed up with Moxie-Dose, Rillaboom, Choice Band Scizor, and Chandelure. So these are all like mons I have historically played, and I have enjoyed a ton to actually be able to play with, and I have not played them at all together. I'm really excited for this. So let's just jump right in and see how this goes. See if we can get up to Ultra Ball today. We would like this team. Cool. So this is historically a archetype that I have played a lot with hyper offense. I am very much a fan of what we have going on here. So I also kind of like what we got going on our opponent's side with Politoed, Azumarill, Tentacruel, Raichu, Arcanine, and Gastrodon. So Rillaboom looks insane. Notably, if we can deal with the Tentacruel and the Arcanine, Rillaboom just really gets to beat up our opponent. So let's see. What do we think? I kind of like Scizor. I kind of like Scizor plus Clef as a lead. And then have like Gyarados. Let's do Scizor Clef. And then have Rillaboom plus PZ in the back. Not really a fan of Gyarados when our opponent has a lot of resistances to it and has the Gastrodon to be able to have Storm Drain active. Don't really like Chandelure when our opponent has 4 water types on the team, even if it is notably good against the other 2. So let's just jump on in here and see how quickly we can win some games today. Really, really excited just to beat some people up. So we're going to see Tentacruel, Arcanine. I would be lying if I said I knew what this Tentacruel could actually do to us. But we have... Arcanine is actually kind of a problem. Like, here at the very beginning. Like, really just gets to beat up Scizor. So, I think we're going to immediately switch into PZ here. Just because PZ is pretty decent against both of these. And I'm going to go for a Sing into... Oh, do we want Sing or do we want Protect? Let's Sing the Tentacruel. See if we can make it go nighty-night. Look at my weird blue duck. I wonder if this is going to be a Dynamax Tentacruel. Nope, it is the Arcanine. Okay. So, probably going to have a Max Flare going into the PZ. It could also be a Max Lightning into PZ, but I think that one's less likely. So we're going to see the Sludge Bomb into the Clefairy. Going to do pretty good damage, all things considered. And we are going to see that Max Flare into the Porygon, who takes it like a champ and has no big deal going on. So if we can hit this Sing, I would feel really good about our life. Life Orb, Arcanine. And unfortunately, we missed the Sing. Well, this is awkward. I wonder how fast this Arcanine is. So what if we go for a Max Guard plus Protect? and just like try to stall out some Dynamax turns from our opponent. And then, let's see, is Porygon faster than Arcanine? That is a very important question that I don't know the answer to. Let's see. Our speed is 90. Arcanine. Say base speed of 95. That's really awkward. That's really, really awkward if I have to say so myself. So we can go for... what do we like? I think Max Strike into the Arcanine. And we've seen that the Tentacruel is faster than the Arcanine. Let's try to get a double protect here. We are going to get the double protect. That's really good for us. At least something has gone right. And we're faster than the Arcanine. That's also really good for us. Had I known that, I would have just Max Striked last turn and got the knockout. But picking up the KO on the Arcanine means that both Rillaboom and Scizor can cleanly come in now and sweep if need be. And we're going to see the Sludge Bomb one more time into the Clefairy. So the big question is what does our opponent have in the back? So we are going to see the Raichu, which means our Max Lightning is really, really bad now. So let's just go for a Max Strike into the Tentacruel and go for a Helping Hand. Because I envision a Fake Out from the Raichu this turn. It could also be a Thunder, which we avoid like a champ. And Tentacruel also just gonna go down. This is the just like magic of PZ. Just 2 turns, 2 KOs, and like everything is just as good as can be. And like Scizor is really set up to just come in and do a lot of work. As is Rillaboom. Rillaboom's really in a good position to come in as well. So the question is Raichu going to be faster than us at -1? Probably. I think Raichu's max speed. Oh. It's 178, so at -1 we should be faster. So what if we just go for a Hyper Beam into the Azumarill? And go for a Follow Me here. Yoda over here wiggling its finger, drawing in some attention. Unfortunately, we get the miss, which is kind of a big deal, seeing how the Raichu has Surf. Which, honestly, I'm kind of surprised to see, but thanks to Friend Guard, we take like a champ. He crit his own Azumarill. We're going to see the superpower into the Clefairy. Yoda's not going to like that one too much. But now Rillaboom gets to come in and click Grassy Glide a bunch. Oh, that was also a Surf in the Sun. No wonder that did so little. We can also just go for a Fake Out into the Raichu and go for a Hyper Beam into it this turn. And that will not only break the Focus Sash, but also allow us to actually pick up the KO on the Raichu before it ever gets to move. So we do get our Fake Out off. Gonna do a ton of damage And we missed a second Hyper Beam. Come on. You're gonna see the Ice Punch from the Azumarill into the Rillaboom. Gonna take that like a champ, like it ain't no big deal. So this turn we're going to... The Raichu should not possibly live a Hyper Beam, pending that we actually hit it. We can't be that unlucky, right? Like, this is already 1 in 100. We can't be 1 in 1,000. So we're gonna go for a Grassy Glide into the Azumarill. Hyper Beam should pick up the KO on the Raichu, pending that we actually hit, so I don't know why I said anything, because now we're not going to. Grassy Glide into the Azumarill, picking up the KO. And a Hyper Beam going into the Raichu. Okay, I stand corrected. We are, in fact, not that unlucky. Oh yeah, just melting the Raichu. Easy win here at the very beginning of the game. But that being said, very good game. Got to really show the power of just how powerful Porygon-Z can be, especially when we have the backup beat with the Clefairy. Beautiful Toad. Notably has the Focus Sash, so that means that the Raichu does not. I'm interested. Oh, we're max HP, max a special attack. Scald Icy. That's a really interesting set for a Politoed, especially since you're holding Focus Sash. Like, at that point, why invest into HP and not invest into speed? Just because, like, you're not gaining anything from the HP buff that Focus Sash doesn't already cover. Super minor thing, but I think it's important to touch on here. Had the Assault Vest on the Azumarill. Max attack, match HP, meaning it's not Belly Drum. Saw the superpower in the Ice Punch, not surprised there. Reflect type, what is this? The user reflects the target's type, making the user the same type as the target. That is a weird move. I have never seen that before in my life. Max speed, max special attack, weakness policy. What? I am really confused about what we're doing here. That we're weakness policy Tentacruel, and we don't have any Dynamax candies. Safety goggles on the Raichu. That one makes sense. Max special attack, max speed. Have Grass Knot. That's an interesting attack you like rarely ever see. Helps take out the bulky waters, but Raichu's already good against the bulky waters, so I'm not sure why we see the Grass Knot there, unless it's like for specifically a stronger hit on like Lapras, because like since we have Surf, we have the control for like rock and ground types, so Grass Knot doesn't really hit anything there either. Really interesting. And Special Arcanine with with Snarl, Heat Wave, Dragon Pulse, and the Life Orb, which we already saw. Pretty Gastrodon here, holding the Lumberry. Interesting EV spread. Scald, Protect, Sludge Bomb, and Earth Power. Not sure we need Sludge Bomb if we want this to be just like stalling, which normally is what you see on Gastrodon. Normally you see it as more of a support mon that's meant to stall out turns, which normally as a result you see recover on it, but interesting take. Really interesting team from our opponent there. Man, why do we gain so little? But we lose so much when we lose. Jumping into the next battle here, we see Talonflame, Snorlax, Politoed, Kingdra, Magnezone, Hitmontop. Talk about another rain team. Rillaboom looks great. Porygon looks great. Porygon doesn't line up particularly well into Snorlax, but I think PZ Clefairy is probably still just the lead. And then we can have... I kind of like Rillaboom Scizor in the back. But we can also punish our opponent by giving us rain by bringing in Gyarados. But Gyarados lines up really poorly against Magnezone, and we can see something like Thunder Punch come out from the Snorlax or the Hitmontop. So maybe it's just correct to bring Scizor plus Rillaboom. More as like a way to prevent our opponent from like punishing us. But like we're going to abuse their rain basically by weakening any potential fire moves that they actually have. Specifically the Talonflame, which we could see come out here at the very beginning and go for a Tailwind. Which, if so, then we're just going to click Max Strike and everything's going to be great. So we're going to see Talonflame and Magnezone the Veteran come out. Interesting. Notably, Magnezone lines up pretty well against like everything we're trying to do here. So let's go for a Max Darkness into the Talonflame. And we can go for a Sing into the Magnezone. I'm anticipating the Magnezone to Dynamax this turn. Which, if that's the case, then we're going to get the special defense drop on it. And just going to make it easier for PZ to actually be able to take out. I think between like a -1 special defense and a helping hand from probably Max Darkness again next turn, it should hopefully be able to take it out. Notably, opponent is going to be able to get Tailwind up. But Tailwind is not very good with Magnezone if it's Analytic. Like, Analytic wants to go fast. So we're going to see the Flash Cannon into the Clefairy. Takes it like a champ because it's Clefairy. We're going to see that Max Darkness come out into the Talonflame. Going to be enough to take it out. Notably, did not carry the Focus Sash here. Which is really, really good news for us. And we get the Sing off. Man, we're so good at this game. It creeps me out that Magnezone's third eye doesn't fall asleep. And we're going to see Lumberry Magnezone. Talk about some tech. Very interesting plays here at the very beginning of the game. So we're going to see Politoed come out. Politoed is going to set up that Drizzle. Most likely going to be seeing a... What do we do here? I think Max Darkness into the Porygon, into the Magnezone. Just clicking Helping Hand here is probably ideal. Like, we know the Magnezone is not carrying Focus Sash, so hopefully at -1 when we have Helping Hand is going to be enough to pick up the KO. And if the Magnezone wants to go for a Flash Cannon into the Clefairy, I'm just completely fine with that. You're going to see the Protect come out from the Politoed. And we are going to see a Rising Voltage into the Clefairy. Something I didn't realize Magnezone got. And we are going to get that Max Darkness off. Going to do a ton of damage. Not enough to pick up the KO. Super, super close, but not quite enough. Oh, it has Sturdy. Interesting. Interesting. So they are now at -2 special defense on the Magnezone and at -1 on the Politoed. I think this looks like a perfect position to bring in Rillaboom. I'm going to fake out into the Magnezone to pick up the KO there. Probably should not have brought in Rillaboom here. Probably should have brought in Scizor and gone for a Bullet Punch, because we're going to Max Lightning into the Politoed here, and that's going to be enough to hopefully take it out. But I think we wanted Grassy Train up for the Rillaboom in the late game, so we can Grassy Glide into potentially the Kingdra in the back. So we're going to see the Protect from the Magnezone, meaning it gets to stick around for another turn. Fake Out into it means it gets to live another turn, but Scald into the PZ, trying to just pick up a burn, which it does, but ultimately that doesn't really matter. And the Max Lightning is going to be enough to pick up the KO. So again, this just like shows you how powerful PZ can be. Like turn 1 knockout, turn 2 essentially a knockout, and then turn 3 another knockout. So Porygon-Z is just an insanely powerful Dynamax target in this generation. It's so powerful. Between like stab, max strikes to lower their speed if they are faster than you, and then just being able to immediately beat up your opponent with like whatever they want to be doing. It's been really insanely good. So I think this turn, I think it's correct to take out the Magnezone, and then it can be a 3v1 versus the Kingdra. And I think it's correct to go into Scizor here, just because I want to be able to switch the terrain back to Grassy. Because I'm assuming that the Kingdra is going to Dynamax here and go for a Max Airstream into that slot. And I would rather Scizor potentially go down than Rillaboom right now. Just because Rillaboom is going to be able to apply a bunch of pressure with Grassy Glide. Granted, it's going to be neutral hits, but 99% of the time, Kingdra does not have defense investment. So, notably, the Magnezone still does outspeed the Porygon. So we're going to see that max stream, especially when they get this speed boost here. Going to definitely outspeed the Porygon, but should not be that big of a deal. Can't really apply a bunch of pressure. Gonna see a Rising Voltage into the Porygon. Unfortunately, we don't live it, which is moderately problematic, but ultimately I don't think it's that big of a deal, especially now that our opponent's Tailwind is out. So we're going to bring in Rillaboom here, and I think this turn we're just going to double into the Kingdra slot because I'm anticipating a Protect from the Magnezone. So we can just go for a Grassy Glide. We could also go for a knockoff. But I think getting the Grassy Glide off into the Kingdra, and then unfortunately the Kingdra resists like everything we're trying to do here. I don't know what hits this the most. Probably just Superpower. Like, Superpower is going to do a ton, especially since we are Choice Band. And notably, we are going to be locked into that, so the Magnezone's still going to outspeed us. But hopefully between this Grassy Glide plus the Choice Banded Superpower, we're able to lift this. So we do see the Protect going from the Magnezone there. And rightfully so, we're going to double into the Kingdra. Going to do pretty decent damage. We're going to see the Max Geyser. I'm assuming this is into the Scizor to pick up the KO there. Yeah, I think the one turn we weren't able to knock out Magnezone might cost us this game. Because this turn they're just able to go for another Max Airstream into the Rillaboom, and that most likely is going to be enough to pick up the KO. So we can go for a Grassy Glide into the Magnezone, pick up the KO there. Hopefully we live this Max Airstream and can go for a Grassy Glide next turn into Kingdra. Okay. So it comes down to if we live this Max Airstream, which we do, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Because they are +2. Grassy Terrain is going to heal them for just a little bit. We're also going to get the heal, but maybe they don't have a 100 accuracy move and we just pray for the miss. Like, notably, we do know they have Hurricane, which is not. They have Max Geyser, which could be any combination of Scald, Hydro Pump, or Muddy Water. So outside of Scald, all those can miss. Maybe we crit? Oh, we just pick up the KO! That's even better for us! was not expecting to pick up the KO there, based on how much the first Grassy Glide did, but I will gladly take it. Winning that game on the skin of our teeth. Oh, we got a big nugget for winning, too. We're so good at this game. Pretty significant point increase there. So if we win one more, we might be able to get into Ultra Ball today, which would be really fantastic. Alright, last game of the day, we see Togekiss, Rillaboom, Colossal, Urshifu, Cinderace, Inteleon. I'm assuming Inteleon gets Surf. I can't imagine it doesn't. And if that's the case, how do we beat Inteleon Rillaboom? Inteleon Colossal? Honestly, I think it's Gyarados. I think Dynamax, Gyarados, go for a Waterfall into that slot is probably just the most ideal. And go for Clefairy so we can redirect. And then we can have... Man, I don't really like Scizor or Rillaboom. So maybe it's just like Chandelure plus PZ? Yeah, I think this is fine. I think this is fine. I'm anticipating Colossal stuff here at the beginning, but I mean, they could also be doing like pledges with all three starters. Like, notably, all three starters are actually just, like, fine picks for this game, too. So we're going to see Rillaboom Cinderace as a lead, which is not great for us, but it's also not awful. Like, Gyarados just beats up both of these really well. Like, oh, Grassy Seed is not great for us. Grassy Seed means they have a chance to actually, like, deal with us. So we're going to go for a Max Geyser into the Cinderace, because I'm assuming that's what's going to Dynamax. And we're going to go for a Helping Hand. We could see a Steel Spike come from the Cinderace, which if so, like, I'm fine with that. Like, losing Clef, but we hopefully will get to be able to pick up the KO on Cinderace. I think the calcs that I did said that we could KO if we had... Life Orb, which we are not, but we're going to have Helping Hand, which is pretty close. It's like the Rillaboom doesn't do anything against Gyarados. And like the Cinderace doesn't have anything that it can hit us super effectively either last time I checked. So we should just be in a good position to be able to, like, sweep with Gyarados here, hopefully. We're going to see that Helping Hand go up. We're going to see the Max Airstream. Into the Gyarados, but we lived that like a champ. Notably, since they did go for Airstream, the Max Geyser here is not going to be super effectively. We're going to see the Taunt come out from the Rillaboom. Not one I was actually anticipating. Okay. That's really good damage, all things considered. And we get to set up Rain, so if they go for like a Max Flare here, it's going to be pretty weak. So I think now we can just go for a Max Airstream into the Cinderace. And we're going to struggle, which is fine. I think it's correct that we need to keep in... we need to keep in the Togepi just so we have Friend Guard, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. So hopefully we can actually target down the Cinderace here. Notably, we do have Rillaboom in the back, so we can go for a Grassy Glide into the Cinderace. And that should be enough to pick up the KO at that range. Struggle not doing anything, and we take a ton of recoil from that. Man, this is a really bad position to be in. I expected Clefairy to be able to hit a little harder than that. We don't have Rillaboom either. We're so dead here. This is their last turn of Dynamax. We could bring in PZ. Maybe it's just correct to bring in Chandelure here. Yeah, we'll bring in Chandelure and just click Heat Wave. But it's also in the rain. Yeah, this Heat Wave is not going to do anything. So maybe it's correct to just Shadow Ball into the Cinderace. But they could also Max Guard, and that would turn them into normal, which would be really bad. Yeah, let's go for Heat Wave, and we'll switch into PZ. Chandelure should be able to take any hit. If they double into it, then we're in an awkward position, but if they double into Clefairy, we're also in a really awkward position. Really don't know how we win this game at this point. We should have gone for a Rock Fall into the Cinderace on turn 1, anticipating the Airstream. Also wasn't anticipating Taunt on Rillaboom, but I think that's also fine. So we're going to see the Grassy Glide into Porygon, and that does an absolute ton. Hopefully this Heat Wave is going to be enough to pick up the KO here, but notably the Rillaboom is faster than us. It does have priority. They got the crit. It doesn't matter because we have Focus Sash. Maybe we can just get like a Super Ultra Mega crit on the Rillaboom and knock it out. That would be great, but you know, that also doesn't exist. We do hit both of them, and that does half to Rillaboom in the rain. That is insane. Well, Chandelure, you did something today. I'm proud of you. You did more than Gyarados did today, so that's a plus. But I think had I played this game a little better, Gyarados could have easily swept their team. And now we're in this really awkward position where instead we have to face down a Togekiss. So we're going to click Heat Wave again, and we're going to click Protect because I anticipate like a Gleam or a Grassy Glide, just trying to pick up the KO on the PZ. Okay, that's step 1. Okay. Please somehow live this? Of course not. I really needed to pick up the KO on the Rillaboom this turn. Not picking up the KO really puts us in a bad position, to the point where I don't know how we win this game now. Leftovers on Togekiss. Hopefully that means that they're not like max special attack, and we can somehow, some way live this. But like, they also know our Clefairy can't do anything, so they can just ignore it. So we're gonna click Follow Me, and we're going to Thunderbolt the Togekiss because it can have spread damage with Dazzling Gleam. So if we can pick up the KO on it, then we're in an okay position, but probably not one that can win. Because Grassy Glide's going to do not a lot here, actually. I expected that to go down. Okay. Okay, we are somehow in this game. I think. Probably not. PZ needs to pick up 2 KOs, and Clefairy can't go down. Because Clefairy needs to live 1 more Grassy Glide, and Porygon needs to be able to outspeed and pick up the KO on whatever they bring out here, which is really asking for a lot. And they have Urshifu. That's Water Urshifu. We are somehow in this game. That outspeeds us. This is really awkward. So we can do this. And we can Dark Pulse the Rillaboom to pick up the KO on it. And Urshifu will outspeed PZ. If it's max attack. Drain Punch into Clefairy, that's probably not going to be enough to actually let you live. Yeah, we do see Urshifu outspeeding, but we get to live another turn. Okay, we're actually in this game, and I don't know how. But they're going to be Focus Sash. So we're going to click Follow Me again. And we're going to click Hyper Beam. Maybe they just don't actually have a way of dealing with this Clefairy. I don't know how we're in this game. We have not played this particularly great. Maybe they're choice banned. Because Clefairy gets to click Follow Me one more time, so we're actually going to potentially get 2 Hyper Beams off. Which is insane. Holy cow, they're not Focus Sash. I don't know how we won this game. We played this game so terribly. This team is insanely good. I love this team already. I want to see our opponent's team. No, I want to see our opponent's team. No. I had to see if it was it had to be choice banned, right? Like, that's the only thing that would make sense with why they would click Drain Punch there instead of Surging Strikes, is because they wanted to be able to hit the Porygon super effectively, but like Porygon would not have taken a hit from anything had Clefairy gone down. And that's the only reason they would have clicked Drain Punch twice, I would imagine. Because had they gone for Surging Strikes there, Clefairy would have gone down. And then we would have been in a terrible position where Urshifu outspeeds Porygon, and they just get to click Surging Strikes into us, and then we go down. I don't actually understand our opponents play that last game, that last turn, had they had Surging Strikes, which I just don't imagine that they don't. But that being said, everyone, we are 3-0 for the day. Let's see that wonderful Ultra Ball ranking. Come on, show it to me. Okay, we are into Ultra Ball. We are one tier away from Master Ball for the first time. I am really, really excited to keep playing this team because it's going to be what pulls us into Master Ball, I have a feeling. This team is going to put us on its back and just carry us all the way there. So, as always, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like down below, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell if you're new here, and leave a comment down below just telling me how amazing Porygon-Z is, and more importantly, how amazing of a shiny it is. So, as always, everyone, thank you very much. We'll be back later this week to play some more games with this team. Have a good one. Peace.